Hello, everyone. We are here with Laura Schuchardt, and she is from St. Louis, and she is an amazing agent that you have got to get to know. So, Laura, let's dig in about what is your background, family, schooling, growing up.
So I actually grew up between St. Louis and Ohio. I'm from Toledo, Ohio originally, and lived there during my teenage years. But I'm one of six children. I'm the oldest and the only
Oh,
girl.
wow.
So
Oldest.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah. I'm married for 40 years. I have three children and five grandchildren. So that's my pretty
Fantastic.
much
How long
my
have you
world.
been in real estate for?
I got my license originally in 1993.
Wow.
So
That's a long time.
I I was very young.
Very, very young.
Very, very young, way too young. So, but I was just doing it because my kids were in school and I thought it would be easy.
But it's
I'm not
not.
kidding. I'm not kidding, and it's kind of funny. I just thought, well, my mom was a realtor for a few years, and my husband's dad was a new construction realtor. So we just thought my husband was an appraiser. So I thought, oh, I'm gonna get my license, and I ended up being pretty good at it. So it's what happened.
Very good at it. Okay. So tell us about like your city and what types of properties do you sell in your city? And just
So
kind of
I
give
saw
us some
single
guidance of
family
like St.
homes.
Louis. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I have St. Louis is large, kind of like
Yes.
Atlanta. And I
Uh-huh.
do service a lot of the area. I've been doing it for a long time. And so I do a lot I actually have three properties right now in St. Louis City. I do St. Louis County, St. Charles County, and then there's some Lincoln County and Warren County outside of there. It's just everything's growing this way. So I end up in all those places. I still have, referrals that go out into St. Louis, and then I'm located more in St. Charles County. That's where the majority of my business is, but
Right.
I service everywhere, especially for listings, because I know the area very well. So that's my area. So
Fantastic.
um,
And I love that. So do you do a lot of single family homes? Do you do commercial? Do you do land? What do you specialize in?
So I specialize in single family, condos, townhouses, that kind of thing. I have sold land. I say that I sell land up to about 25 acres. Beyond that, that's not I will refer that out to the experts. And but most of mine is just single family homes or condo type villas, that type of property. So
So tell us, like, what is an average single family home square footage in your area? About approximately what price point?
So, like our average sales price is about 350,000, 50 or
Okay.
356 is actually what it really is for a single family home. And then our condo market is kind of less expensive. It's like 220 average sales price. So, um, that is the average. Of course, we go up to millions and we go down a little bit. I still wonder how that 356 is our average sales price because I don't see very many things under that. So
I
I,
agree. That seems
you
pretty
know,
low. So for
yeah,
like, say for like 400,000, like you have do you get like a 3 bedroom, 2 bath? How much square footage?
yeah, I'm listing one right now. Three
There you
bedroom,
go.
two bath, to three bedroom, two and a half bath because the basement is finished. We have finished basements here. It's about 1,600 square feet and it's going to be priced right around 400.
Oh,
So
perfect. So that's,
yeah,
just so that people get an idea of what
yeah,
you can get for your money.
yeah.
Um,
It's three-car garage, that kind of thing. So some of them are two-car though. I just sold a two-car that was 423, and it
okay.
was same thing, same square footage ish, but it only had a two-car garage. So just depending on the neighborhood.
Yes. Okay, perfect. So let's talk about some of the most desirable neighborhoods in your city and why are they desirable and who's moving to your city?
Well, I think that it's a very family oriented
Okay.
city. And definitely there's a lot of different neighborhoods. It depends on what you want, right? If you
Mhm.
want to be walkable, then the city or certain small towns that we have in St. Louis County are going to be good places for people to move. If you, um, people are very big on school districts. We have some good school districts that could be anywhere from a condo to a single family home in a regular subdivision to, 3 acres to 10 acres of land. So we sell a very diverse properties,
Neighborhood.
a lot
Yeah.
of diverse, it's just a lot of diversity in our neighborhoods. When you're in St. Charles County, it's not very walkable. It's more, you're hopping on the highway to get everywhere. And but when you're in St. Louis County, it just depends on where you're at. You could stay right in that little area and never get on the highway, or you could end up, getting on the highway for things. But it reminds me of Atlanta a little bit. You're, you know, that kind of a town. So,
Right. Yeah. If you want to be in the city, you can be walkable and get on the MARTA and get on the subway, whatever you want to call
right,
it. But once you get outside the city, everything is, you have to drive. You
right, yeah.
walk to the grocery store.
Yeah, you're right. And you know what? One thing about our area is it's very, I have a lot of people that say, I'm coming back. We're coming back to St. Louis. Even if they weren't from here, a lot of people that have lived here, moved away, come back here. Maybe they got transferred here originally, raised their kids, and they're coming back. They love St. Louis. People love it once they move here. And it's a very Midwestern town, but it's friendly. We're the friendly Midwesterners. So
There you go.
yeah,
Westerners.
Westerners.
So what you're saying is what people are driving to your area relocation is, like you said, they're getting relocated with their company. They're coming back because they love it, which I think that's really
Mhm.
interesting fact that people actually aren't even from St. Louis, but they're
Yeah,
coming back to St. Louis
yeah,
because they just love the lifestyle there. So that's
yeah.
what's driving everybody to your area. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah, that's what I in my experience, that's what I've experienced a lot of. So
So
yeah.
what are some of the biggest challenges that people that move from other parts of the country, and maybe like, are there people moving from California, New York? Where are they coming from when they're moving here?
Well, I would say we've sold a lot, when it was very busy, during COVID and all that.
Yes.
We sold a lot of California and a lot of
Yes.
the East Coast coming into our area, which I found interesting. And we always like them to come into our area because we have a really low average sales price and they love it. So they love to pay for that. And, and
Very affordable. There you go.
it's
Very
very
affordable.
affordable. Well, that's what it is. It's very affordable. Like, and people come in, I'm going to say come in, to do investment here too. The investing here, you can actually make money off your investment and bring in renters and actually it's affordable to invest also here.
Do you have a
So
lot of neighborhoods that don't allow investors to come in?
we
Do you have
don't. No, we
restrictions?
don't.
That's
We have
amazing. So I'm telling everybody right now, you need to invest with Laura in St. Louis.
yeah.
Do not come to Atlanta because Atlanta is so hard because we have subdivisions and rental restrictions, and our condos are rental restricted as well as our subdivisions. So there's so many, when I have investors come in, there's so much more research that has to go into everything because they're like, I love this property. I'm like, well, you can't rent it. It's rental restricted. So I
Yeah.
love you don't really have rental restrictions. That's a
Well, we
big
do in the condo. A condo arena has a lot of restrictions.
yes.
Subdivisions do not. I actually ran into one just in the last 6 months where the reason why the investor wanted me to sell their house was because the new HOA rules were that they couldn't rent any houses there. And
Wow.
it was out, like pretty far out in the suburbs, like way out in the suburbs. And I thought, well, that's
Yeah.
interesting because usually that would be closer to the St. Louis County area or the St. Louis City area that they would start that and then it would move out. But that was the first subdivision that I've ran into that has a restriction for rentals. Although I'm sure it's coming around. I mean, I'm sure
Of
that's
course.
could come around. But here's what happens. We're the last people to adopt anything. So we're right in the middle. Like we don't adopt fashion until it's already on. We don't crash. We don't do all those things that all the coasts do, like Florida, East Coast, West
Mhm.
Coast. We're right in the middle, and so it's the same thing. We don't adopt all these rules until the last minute, that kind of thing. So
Right. You don't follow the rules
yeah,
until you have to. There you go.
yeah, we
So
don't have to.
are there
Yeah,
any challenges when people are moving to your area? What is like the biggest challenge that they do face?
I don't. I don't think there's a lot of challenges here. I mean, inventory, right now it's inventory
Oh, of course, of
and,
course.
like it is everywhere. Well, almost everywhere. Those are still the challenges that we have, but there's, a type of property for everyone, I feel like.
Yes. I
And
think that that's great in your area
yeah,
because like it kind of seems that whether you're looking for a condo, you're looking for a house, you're looking for lifestyle, you're looking for schools, you have it all in that
yeah, we
small
do.
area that you live in,
'Cause, yeah, we really do. There's not, there's some area within St. Louis area or St. Louis Metro that's going to fit what they're needing. So yes, I think we're a good place for people. I don't think they have a lot of challenges in moving here, except for just challenges that they not with the city, but which is maybe the market, which everyone
Sure,
does. So
sure.
yeah.
Um, so, what kind of industries thrive your market there in St. Louis, like tech or medical, or what
We
companies
have a
are?
lot of we have BJC, which is a big medical. We do have some
Okay.
top hospitals here. We have Barnes Jewish Hospital. We call it Big Barnes. We have a great children's hospital and Mercy. We have a Mercy hospital that is very good and well known. So we have top hospitals in St. Louis. So that obviously drives some of it. And then we also have like Anheuser-Busch which is in Bev now.
Right.
Worldwide Enterprises is another tech company that brings in a lot of people. Enterprise Holdings is another large company here. And I'm trying to think like Build-A-Bear, Centene.
Wow. I didn't know Build-A-Bear was from St. Louis. There you go.
Yeah,
I learned something
headquarters
new
here.
today.
So, we have it all. I mean, we have a lot of them, I think we've been challenged with some people moving out of our city too, but we still
Right.
have some big companies that bring people in. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. So, what are some of the popular activities or hobbies that people enjoy in your city? Like, what do people do?
Well, we have a world-renowned zoo here in Forest Park, which is a
Okay.
free zoo, which nobody has a free zoo. You can
Wow.
walk in and go to the zoo. Now, once you get in there, you might be paying some money, but it's free to go. You can even find
Wow.
free parking. And so it is a free zoo that if you don't want to spend money, you can get in there and do some things. We also have like an art museum there. We have botanical gardens, and you know, that's pretty much, like we have Fox Theater, things like that would
Nice.
bring in
So you
people
have the
also.
culture and then, of course, sports. I mean, I know St.
Oh
Louis
yeah,
has a lot of
yeah,
sports.
yeah. We have the Cardinals,
Never forget the
and
sports.
we just got the city. We got a city soccer team, which is big,
Nice.
big fun thing for everyone to do. Unfortunately, we don't have a football team, but we have all the other things, and we're great. Cardinal fans are great. Some people might disagree, but I think they're the greatest fans in the world. We have so much fun when we go to the games, and they're very loyal fans. So
Very loyal fans. There you go.
they
That's
are.
what you get, loyal fans.
Yeah,
What
loyal
about like the
fans. So
music scene? The music scene. Do you have some
yeah,
places
we have
where
a
there's a lot of
symphony.
concerts?
Yeah, we have a Paul Symphony, and we have symphony, and so there's a lot that goes on in the city of St. Louis. Lots of restaurants. We have the Hill, which is in a St. Louis Italian area that really
Okay.
has some great restaurants, and we got a lot of diversity with food here. I actually went to an Ethiopian restaurant not too long ago, and I didn't even know we had one. And I'm like, oh, we're
There
going
you
to try
go.
that. So we do have a lot of different uh, cultures that come in. We have a big Bosnia neighborhood that people came in the 90s, and so there's a lot of diversity here when you get into the city, more into the city.
I
So
love that. I love that.
yeah,
So tell us about commuting. Is there traffic? Where is the traffic? How do you get around?
traffic is rush hour, and it's your regular rush hour yucky traffic, and you just deal with it. You just deal
You
with
don't
it,
go out
right?
during other hours. I mean, it's like Atlanta. Atlanta is terrible. The traffic gets worse and
It's
worse
starting
every
about 3:30 to 6. You want to just kind of go
anyway.
to the back road, go to the back roads, right? And then the
Yes.
mornings, it starts about 7:30 till actually probably about actually 7 till about 8:30. So
A lot
it
of
goes
people,
quick. It goes
it
quick.
does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a lot of people that commute to the city from the suburbs?
Yeah, more than you. Yeah, a lot of people do.
Yeah.
St. Louis
Okay.
City is a very small demographic. The city doesn't have a lot of people. Almost all of our people are out in the
Suburbs.
suburbs.
Got
So
it. That
yeah,
makes a lot
it's
of
just yeah.
that makes a lot of sense. All right. So talk to us about the climate. Like uh what months are winter and spring and summer, and what are kind of the temperatures so
Okay.
people know?
So we have all the seasons, and we have we have weird weather. That's why I say
We
weird
have
weather.
weird weather.
Like,
Right, there
I
you go.
feel like, well, we have winter, no, winter and summer, but we do like right now it's beautiful out. It's 75 to 80 degrees and not too humid.
In
When you
May.
start getting to
Yeah.
summer months, it's humid and hot. It gets hot, 80s, 90s,
Right.
sometimes
Mhm.
over 100. And that lasts, June and July and maybe partly into August. And then we start getting fall. Our, our, we have an Indian summer, I would say almost
Okay.
every single fall. It really doesn't get really cold until December normally. And sometimes
Got it.
December isn't even it. Sometimes it's just January and February where we have the
Okay.
really cold, cold. And then we have March is iffy. It can either be hot or it can be snowing. And same, I mean, April's pretty good. This April was very cool actually, and it rained a
Yes.
lot. But normally we can get hot days, and I mean, I have a pool and I open it up sometimes in April, and we're swimming.
Nice.
So
Right. Yeah.
it just
Do you get a lot of
it's
snow? Do you get a lot of snow?
no, we don't get a lot of snow. We get some snow, but not a lot of snow. So
Okay.
that's one thing about here. We'll snow 3, 4 times a year, and
Okay.
that's it. It's
No,
just
that's a,
cold.
like
It
a
just gets
perfect
cold.
climate
Yeah,
to
it's
be in,
just
isn't
cold.
it? Yeah.
We
I love
do,
it. It's
we do have storms. We have some pretty major storms, but other than that,
yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
yeah,
It's a
yeah,
typical 4 seasons that you get, and
right.
it's really, really comfortable. People aren't gonna be freezing, like, if they come from Florida, they're not gonna be freezing their butts off, you know what I mean? Like,
No.
if they went to
Yeah, only in
Alaska.
January and February, maybe part of December. But my husband golfs and he will golf all the way into November. So if you're golfing,
Nice.
it might be chilly, but it's not freezing. So
There you go. So
yeah.
I wanna learn a little bit more about you. So what do you enjoy doing outside of real estate, Laura?
Oh, well, I do a lot of real estate, so it's I like to
You're an
travel.
investor yourself, so you
Yes.
invest as well. So I think that is really
Yeah.
important when you're choosing an agent too, and especially on the investment side, someone who also has investment properties and understands the whole process. So that's what I
Right.
really like about you.
I'm not
So
a huge, I mean, I'm not a huge investor, but we have a house in Florida and we have a lake house here. And then we have a rental property and then our own property. So we don't even invest in a bunch of stuff. Well, we've rehabbed
yes,
and we've rehabbed, numerous houses and turned them over and probably should have kept some of them for rentals and we didn't, but that's just the way it goes. But yeah, so we do our lake house, we do our Florida house, and so we do a lot of traveling to those places. We have families scattered all over the country, so we are very family oriented. So we spend time with our family outside of St. Louis, and then we spend a lot of time with our family inside of St. Louis because
like
I have
those grandkids, right? How many
five
grandkids
grandkids.
do you have? Are
Yeah,
they all
I have
local?
5 grandkids that live within a 3-mile radius of me.
Oh,
So
you're
we
forget you're busy. You're busy with
right.
them, right?
Right now we're at baseball fields every week, and sometimes there's 2 games going on at one time, and sometimes we have to go 3 times or 4 times a week to get to one kid's game. I have their ages are 3, 5, or I'm sorry, 3, 6, and 8, and 1 9-year-old. So there's yeah, they're
A
just
lot of
within all
fun.
that age. They all go to the same school and we go, it's a very fun. We have a lot of fun with them. So,
Perfect. So talking about travel, what is one of the favorite places you've been to? And then maybe someplace you haven't been to that's on your bucket list or just
so
place around the
I have
world.
to say, I haven't been to many places like outside of our country, like because my husband
Yes,
does not want to travel outside of the country, which
right.
is,
But you have a
yeah.
beautiful lake house, so that,
Yeah. So he's fine with traveling inside of the country. He just doesn't have any want to do that. So I mean, we spend a lot of time in Florida. My dad moved down there, got transferred down there when he was in his
Mhm.
40s for his job. And
Right.
so I was married and had one little child when they went there. And we spent 35 years traveling to Florida. So that we're very familiar. That was our vacation most of the time.
Right.
So
What part of Florida?
Bradenton, like Anna Maria
Okay.
Island. So
Nice. Nice.
yeah.
Nice. Nice. And where else tell us, so you have a lake house. So tell us in reference to where you live, how far that is and what lake is it?
Okay, so we are kind of landlocked in Missouri. Okay,
Yes.
so there is Lake of the Ozarks, and then there's these smaller lakes, and most of them are probably man-made. I think this one is, but this is 7,500 acres. It's right outside of where we live. It's 40 minutes from us. It's
Nice.
7,500 acres of lakes. There's a golf course. There's venue for weddings and stuff. There's um pool like with a lazy river and bars and I don't know, there's all kinds of stuff within
Yes.
this. Excuse me, I'm gonna
Bless you.
cough.
Yeah, no
Sorry.
worries.
And it's people travel there. We actually are going to start Airbnb our little place there because people are traveling in from all over to spend
Mhm.
time there. And it's kind of a clean lake because it only allows battery operated boats
Oh,
and
that's nice.
stuff. Yeah, so it's a cleaner lake, and yeah, but it's got A-frame. We have an A-frame, and
Mhm.
then it's got all the way up to 3 point something million-dollar houses. So there's people that stay there year round, and then there's
Sure.
the type that we have where people just come in on the summer months or whatever. So
But
it's
that's really
temporary.
nice because it's so close. It's 45 minutes. That's nothing.
I
That's
know it
even a
is
half
really
a lake
nice.
house, that's like perfect because
Yeah,
it's not
it's
like you're not having to drive 2, 3, 4, 5 hours to get to so you go
we'd
much
never
more often.
go if it was. We wouldn't have
Yeah,
time.
no, that's what I'm saying. That's why
Yeah.
I think people don't think that. Like they don't think that you need to get something close by. So even though you're landlocked in St. Louis, you can get to these really nice lake communities with all
Yeah.
the amenities that you have. Yeah, I
Yeah.
understand the
And a lot of
landlocked.
the Yeah, and a lot of the people actually just, are from St. Louis County, and they're just buying out into this big community that, and it also, it has, sorry, I was going to tell you one thing. It also has an amphitheater, and they have concerts.
Wow.
They have concerts every weekend throughout the summer. They have a humongous 4th of July firework display. I mean, it is not, like even on like Memorial Day and Labor Day weekend, they do a community where they cook hamburgers and hot dogs and stuff and get everybody together. So it's huge. It's a huge amount of area. So,
Right.
but it's been fun. So
That's nice. That's awesome. So I have one more question for you. What is one of the most rewarding real estate transactions you have had and why? And I know that we all have a ton of them, but just think of maybe a recent one or just one that hit your heart.
I had one, and it was a few years back, and it did hit my heart. It was a family that lost their daughter, died suddenly, and they wanted to move. They found out that I was listing a property that I had sold to these people. Okay, I sold this property to somebody that it was the third time I was working with them.
Oh,
Sold this
wow.
property. They found a property around the corner that they wanted to put an offer in on. So I put an offer in on that property and got it, put their house on the market. Okay. And the person that wanted to buy it lost their daughter, and they were raising their 2 grandsons, and they were moving their mother in with them. So I sold these people. I'm selling their house. I'm selling to getting the buyer for that house. And I had to sell 2 houses to make that work because it was contingent on
Wow.
these 2 houses sold. And the people have been there for about 3 or 4 years, and I talk to them all the time still, and they're like, the kids are thriving. It was a very tragic situation, and it turned out to be just a beautiful thing. And they're friends with the people that lived in that house. They back up to each other, which is just really weird. But it's wonderful. And that one touched my heart more because I was like, okay, I can do this. Yes, I can sell your house, sell this house, get you this house, get this house over here. Like, I was like, I can do it. We can do it, and we did.
Wow. I mean, that's just a wow like story because in this business, it is so hard to facilitate and coordinating selling one house, the ripple effect, we call it, right?
Right.
This house has to close in order for this house to close, in order for that one to close. And it could be very devastating if everything's contingent on something else, right? And that
Yes.
you were able to facilitate that just shows so much in your real
Well,
estate career that you're able to do that.
and the interesting thing was that they had multiple offers on that house, and they took this contingent offer because they kind of knew them and they knew their story. And so it went, that just, I don't know, it was just, that touched, and it wasn't the best offer. So I was like,
Right.
you guys
Don't
can
you
do
love
whatever
that?
you.
I love when somebody has some compassion and it's not always
Yes.
about the money. It's always about who's like, I love when I have clients that want to see, like, they want a family in their house that can play
Yes.
soccer in their backyard, and they're very emotional. And we have to deal with
Yes.
people like that. And and I love when they ask, well, who did see the house? How many kids they have? Where do they? I'm like,
Right.
I'm gonna have to find out for you. But like they're very compassionate. They want
Yeah.
like a loving family to be in their house, and you made it happen. That which
And
I
these
think is
guys are good people. They are good people. The funny thing is, it was the husband's ex-wife's brother who was doing it. So they really do have a lot of compassion, and it was really interesting.
right. That is so amazing.
Yeah,
That's such an
it
amazing
was,
story. So
it really
yes.
is.
So now, is there anything else that we haven't discussed that you want to tell our viewers, or anything that you want to add about the St. Louis area that people need to know?
No, I do think it's a great area to move into, and I think that most people are very happy once they get here, and I think I can help you. So
Yes, of
if you
course you
need
can
anything,
help.
I can help. 'Cause I know a lot about it. I just know the areas. I've been doing it a long time, and it's just, and I have a small team. So I have team members that can help. You know, this person goes in this area, this person goes in that area, and we all are very close team members, so we know what's going on, you know?
Right, and you're a
So,
matchmaker, so you're matching the people with their personality, with their wants and needs. You're asking them a
right.
lot of questions, and then you're able to get them what they want. So I
Yeah,
love that.
and my team members have all worked with me for 10 years or more. So
And
they're
that
not
shows such a world that you have team members for 10 years. I have one that's been with me for 14 years. And that shows
a
volume. And
blessing.
like my admin's been with me for 14 years as well. So it's like amazing how that just shows you as a person that you're able to keep these people, work with them, let them get to their goals and thrive, and then
Yeah.
help as many people as you possibly can. So you're
Right.
cloning yourself to help as many people.
Yeah,
So you're,
that's right.
so you're
Yes.
trying to clone yourself, right? So that you can help
Yes.
some other people. So that's
Yeah,
great.
I definitely have a clone. I have one team member that's definitely my clone. And sometimes I'm like, you're reacting like I do. Maybe you shouldn't do that. You know,
At least you know they're gonna
I'm,
how they're gonna react, right?
yeah,
So
don't react.
so my
Don't react like I do.
suggestion my suggestion to everybody, if you are looking in the St. Louis area, in the suburbs and in St. Louis, you need to contact Laura and see if she's the right match for you. I will guarantee if you're looking for investments, reach out to her too as well. She can help you in that area too as well.
I'd be happy to help. So
Yes. Well, thank you so much for being on our video interview podcast, whatever you want to call it.
yes,
And
it's fun.
it was fun and I really enjoyed it. So thank you so much. And
All right.
everybody, let us know if you're moving to St. Louis. We got the girl for you.
Yeah, thank you.